Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Family Edition. I'm your host, Likuyani Eli. Allow me to welcome Coach Collins Bolo. Mr. Bolo is the founder of Family Health, Life Skills and Career Development. He is also an expert leadership and relationship coach, specialist in psychometric, professional speaker, clergyman, and certified grief and loss therapist. He is equally a mediator with the Kenya High Court, MTI. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Collins Bolo.
Thank you. Eli, do you know that today in our country, Kenya, mental and emotional well-being, people are becoming more conscious about it. It's an thing because in the past when we were talking about marriage and parenting, most of the parents were only checking on issues of how will your child eat, where will your child sleep, and the issue of schooling. But today, mental and emotional well-being has become an issue of concern in our country. It has been found out that marriage matters today, even as far as the mental health and emotional well-being of the children and the family members are concerned. I'll give an example. At one point of time while I was doing my therapy, I had this client who came to my office. This is a young girl who is extremely bright. And also another case of a young boy who is extremely bright. The moment they discovered the parents were in crisis, separating, and they're intending to divorce, this is what the child decided to do. Out of the stress which was coming up into the child, to intentionally decide to fail in the exams so that they can get the attention of the parents. So that in the parents getting attention, then the kids can try to communicate to the parents, please, you are hurting me by the way you are relating to each other in crisis and now thinking of separating and divorcing. And what was from these kids, I found out that their school performance went drastically down, even with a very high level of IQ, because of the crisis at home. Now, when you talk about mental health and emotional well-being of every family member, marriage becomes one of the best platforms whereby it can be secured. The mental health of the children can be secured. The mental health of the mother and the father can be secured because it's a system whereby if everything is done in the right way, likelihood of someone getting to high level of stress and depression will be much lower because the support system exists from within the family. Now, this group of researchers found out that children whose parents divorce have higher rate of psychological problems like depression and other mental illness. Meaning that if we have two families, one family is in the verge of separation and divorce, and another family are having actually health relationship within a home. When a situation of eventuality hits both families, one which is almost separating and divorce, there is high chances one partner, two partners, or a number of partners within that home will find themselves in very high level of stress, depression, or mental illness. No wonder in most of the homes, even when there's a lot of violence among family members, maybe one of the parents is an alcoholic and abuses the other family member, you start realizing that the way children grow up and seeing these things happening in their home, it starts leading them towards having what we call abnormal behaviors or maladaptive behaviors. Research has found out that healthy marriages produce healthy children and healthy family members as far as their mental and emotional experiences are concerned. And that's why these kids could intentionally decide to fail in school to get the attention of the parents. Very key and very important. Today, we have some of the couples who were once married, upon a state of separation and divorce, one party became mentally ill, some became depressed, and even some got to very high level of stress. But when they were having an intact relationship among themselves, those probabilities were extremely minimal. Marriage matters because it safeguards our mental, emotional well-being. In comparison to living outside marriage or in a marriage with very high level of crisis. Not only that, this group of scholars also found out that when marriage is intact and well, high chances are suicidal rates will be very low. Why? Because divorce is linked to high suicidal rates. Divorce is linked to high suicidal rate. In our country, Kenya, 2 years ago, there's one community in Kenya which it was found out in every 24 hours, one man is committing suicide. Every 24 hours, there's a man committing suicide within this particular community. If you follow up more about the community, you realize that their suicidal tendency is connected to distress within the family system structure, whereby even women feel it's a swag and it is prestigious to be seen and to be regarded as a single mama or a single woman. Why? If you're a single mom raising up children as a single mom and you have a business and you're getting resources, then academic success to children, and if children can dress very well, they can talk nice English, one deceives himself or herself that he has succeeded in raising up the children. But the truth of the matter is, parental care and raising up children, they're two different things. It has been found that high levels of suicide taking place in our society, it is so much connected to divorce in families. No wonder one great scholar said, to die is better than to be divorced. Because if you die or your partner dies, you'll be buried and forgotten. But when divorce takes place, the pain is more than death. And it's a kind of pain whereby the one who led to that emotional state, you'll be seeing every day in the estate, or in your neighborhood, or in your village. No wonder it should be the last option for one to take. Why? Marriage matters because it safeguards us from making such drastic choices as much as divorce is concerned. Not only that, again, it has been found out, as far as mental health is concerned and emotional wellness, married mothers have more low rate of depression, it has been found out, than single mothers and cohabiting mothers. Cohabiting mothers most of the time, because the man cohabiting with them is not willing to commit himself to get into marriage. That frustration, as time moves on, most of these women find themselves into very high level of depression because time is going, but there's no commitment coming from the man. By the end of the day, what is happening? There's no hope if tomorrow will be good or will be great. No wonder today I'll advise our women. If a man claims he loves you, let him marry you. Don't go cohabiting. If you go cohabiting, be prepared to come and pay us as your therapist because of refusing to do what you're supposed to do. Why? Your stress levels will be very high. You'll start finding yourself into a state of depression. And not only will you find yourself depressed, for women, love is emotions. For men, love is commitment. If I cannot commit myself to you, I don't love you. And that one means probably there's something I'm gaining for a short time before I commit myself to the person I truly love. I know you are confused. Women by nature, they're lovely. find a woman who is not lovely by nature, this must be somebody who has passed through a lot of crisis and situation and needs help, either from God, His Son, or a specialist. But are women aware that men by nature, they're not lovely? By nature, men, we are full of lust. That's why in our social media, every woman is trying to tweak that may get our attention. You just bump it on our face and they'll bump on you, but they still don't love you. For us men, love is commitment. No commitment, no love. But it can be high chances you are still experiencing your love is getting more and more as a woman. These are just but emotional chemicals. We will take you nowhere with it. You want to secure your emotional and psychological well-being? How committed is this man? If he's not committed, go back and stay with your parents who committed themselves from when you're in nursery to where you are. And don't allow your chemicals to make you think you are better than them. You'll end up like others who went ahead of you and they failed. Marriage matters to safeguard your emotional and mental health.
We are glad that you could join us tonight. Join us next week as we bring you yet another exciting episode of Family Edition. Till next time, my name is Likuyani Eli.